recent rule change impacting students that live in dorms, an inside look at TxDOT's Child Passenger Safety Week, and a UTRGV students' eventful summer in Austin. Plus sports and weather. UTRGV-TV starts now. Hello and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of UTRGV-TV News. Today is Monday, September 21st, 2015, and I'm Daniel Gavon. Our first story is going to be a lot more important to me in about 300 days when I turn 21. I am counting down the days and the hours and the minutes until my next birthday because of some big news regarding students who are 21 years and older that live on campus. And our Oscar Castillo has the story.
With all the changes happening in both campuses, Residential Life has now changed their alcohol policy to where now students who are above the age of 21 are able to consume alcohol. The policy states possession and consumption of alcohol beverages in university residence halls will be permitted only in the assigned residence hall rooms or apartments of an assigned resident who is 21 years of age or older. Director of Residence Life, Sergio Martinez, expanded on who can consume alcohol and what the repercussions are if the rules are not followed.
Most commonly, the first rule is everybody has to be 21 in the room. They're not allowed a huge amount of alcohol. There's limits to that. We don't have any problems when they do violate our policies, then we address it through the Student Code of Conduct, the Dean of Students Office, and our department.
This new policy was adopted this semester, and residential assistants think everything has gone smoothly so far.
I think the residents are really responsible, and I know they drink socially, but if they want to drink all out or something, I know they go to a bar and stuff like that. Here, what I've seen, they just have like a beer or two with their roommates and things like that.
Although most seem to think this change is positive, others fear that this might be an issue in the long run.
Since we started, we haven't heard anything going on at parties, so I guess it's okay for now, but later on maybe we can have some problems with alcohol in the dorms.
Students can submit an application to enroll at Residential Life by visiting myutrgv.edu. For UTRGV-TV, I am Oscar Castillo.
For those viewers out there who have kids, are planning on having kids, or ever were kids, last week was very important. It was Child Passenger Safety Week, and the Texas Department of Transportation held these child passenger safety seat clinics all across the state. There was a big one here in McAllen, and Orlando Vargas went down to that event and captured it.
From your driveway to the roadways.
It's our responsibility as parents.
The city of McAllen and TxDOT are making sure your child is buckled up properly.
We've seen it. We've seen accidents where the vehicles crash and the car seat is a few yards away.
Octavio Sáenz is with the Texas Department of Transportation. He says 60% of the children in the Rio Grande Valley are not properly restrained.
People go out and buy a safety seat, from a secondhand store. That actually can be dangerous because two things can happen. One, that seat could be recalled, or some of the latches or components of that seat could be just weathered out.
To the back brake.
According to TxDOT, in 2014, crashes on Texas roads claimed the lives of 81 children under the age of 8. Parents can be provided with a free car seat as well as a seat check with a simple phone call.
We look at your kid, we measure your kid, we weigh them to make sure that the seat is the adequate size for you or for the child.
Science says knowing your child's safety seat is key to keeping them safe while on the go.
Sometimes they have recalls, and if and when you do buy a seat, it's important to always register, because if something were to change to that seat, you will get information.
Programs like Save Me with a Seat will continue to keep Valley children safe and give parents a peace of mind. In McAllen, Orlando Vargas, UTRGV-TV News.
It is absolutely important to keep your child safe, and if you don't properly restrain them, you can be fined up to $250. If you don't have a child safety seat, do not fret, do not worry, because you can get a free one if you just call them at 956-702-6100, or if you don't want to call them, you can visit the website www.savemewiththeseat.com. So visit them. Now, if you're like me and you tuned into the Republican debates last week on CNN for a couple things, you saw Donald Trump, you saw a lot of arguments, And you also saw quite a few candidates talk about Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a healthcare provider that has become a polarizing political topic, and the heated back and forth debate about the organization has left ripple effects that have been felt even down here at UTRGV. There was one student that spent a very eventful summer in Austin, and Stephen Cavazos has the story.
Honestly, I think of abortion.
Women's health.
Abortion. That's the first response these students gave us when we asked what they thought of Planned Parenthood. But Sadie Hernandez, a UTRGV student and advocate for the facility, says Planned Parenthood offers a variety of services to people in need.
Planned Parenthood is a healthcare provider. They do clinics for mostly reproductive health, but they also do a range of services for people that are primarily low income and people of color.
The nonprofit organization also extends their services to people ranging from all parts of the gender scale. Cancer screenings had been offered by the clinic, which Hernandez says have been beneficial to residents.
Nobody should go through that because they should be able to find cancer early. And cervical cancer has a 90% survival rate if you catch it early, and it's important.
Earlier this year, the Texas legislature filed a draft budget which would stop funding for those screenings. That's when Hernandez decided to rally outside the governor's Austin mansion back in June.
We just turned it into a media narrative to just raise awareness about what our Texas legislature was doing and how they really don't care about people that are low income or of color.
When the hashtags People's Veto and Stand With Sadie were created by the advocate, she began to receive a much larger support.
So then they started tweeting, and then it started gaining momentum online, and it started as an Austin thing and it grew to Texas and then nationally.
Hernandez was overwhelmed by the public's reaction, and she was even recognized by the organization, which honored her efforts in activism. However, on September 1st, funding for screenings ended, but that has not stopped the students' endeavors to change that, especially for residents right here in the Valley.
People in the Valley deserve access to health care that is given by providers that actually care about them and their health, and they're not just another number in their data.
Now, it's facilities such as this, right off Alton Glore Boulevard in Brownsville, which have lost that funding, which according to Hernandez is so vital for the community. In Brownsville, Stephen Cavazos, UTRGV-TV.
September has been a confusing month of weather, to say the least, okay? Like a few students here at UTRGV, I happen to park a tiny bit a ways away from my classes. And on these walks this past month, the weather has been really unpredictable. You know, there's been heavy rain and I need an umbrella and I need rain boots. There's been scary thunder and I need a thunder buddy. There's been scorching temperatures with the sun out that have been hotter than Channing Tatum and Magic Mike, and even Magic Mike 2, although I'm more of a Jonah Hill guy. Regardless, simply put, the weather has been insane. But thankfully, we have the amazing Patricia Hinojosa here to make sense out of all of it with this week's weather forecast.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning into UTRGV Weather. I'm Patty Hinojosa. Let's take a look at current conditions. Mostly sunny with a high near 95, light east-southeast wind becoming east 6 to 11 miles per hour in the afternoon with a 20% chance of rain. So we're looking at overnight conditions right now. Isolated showers and thunderstorms before 11 p.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 73. East wind 9 to 14 miles per hour, becoming light east-southeast after midnight. Winds could gust as high as 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain is 20%. For tomorrow, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 8 a.m. Mostly sunny with a high near 93. Light east-southeast wind increasing to 5 to 10 miles per hour in the morning. We have 93 in the Rio Grande City, 92 in Harlingen, 89 in Brownsville, with low 90s across the Rio Grande Valley. Thunderstorms are pretty much in the forecast for the next couple of days. For our 7-day forecast, we're showing showers, and more showers. So you're going to want to have your umbrellas and rain boots ready, once again with temperatures again in the low 90s. That was a look at your UTRGV-TV weather forecast. Back to you in the studio.
Football season is finally here and I am stoked. You have Lionel Messi showcasing magical feats on the pitch for Barcelona. You have Cristiano Ronaldo showing his magical abs for Real Madrid. And of course, you have our magical UTRGV women's soccer team doing great things this past week at the UTRGV Invitational. And if you missed out on the magic this past week, don't worry about it because Andrea Torres has you covered with the recap in the weekend of the UTRGV women's football team, or I guess soccer.
don't even get it.
In the UTRGV Invitational Tournament, the UTRGV women's soccer team defeated the University of South Dakota Coyotes 1-0 September 12th. The following day, the women played a scoreless draw against the Houston Baptist University Huskies. The team faced off against the Texas Southern University Tigers last Wednesday at the soccer complex and against the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Rebels on Sunday in Las Vegas. The women will travel to Las Cruces, New Mexico for their first conference game of the season when they take on the New Mexico State University Aggies Sunday, September 27th. Visit goutrgv.com for the results. This is Andrea Torres for UTRGV-TV.
For this week's edition of Man on the Street, we have a woman on the street. Karina Salinas went out and about around campus and asked some students how their first few weeks here at UTRGV have gone.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition on Man on the Street. Today we're going to talk to students and see what they've been facing throughout these first week of school. What is something positive that's happened to you since the semester started?
I became the radio news director of UTRGV Radio, and that's been really cool. It's been a really fun event so far, and I've been loving my job since.
I think one of the really positive things that's happened to me is kind of just the switch maybe in the website between the UTPA website that we would usually log into and the UTRGV website. We got a new email and stuff, which was nice for me because my email was always having problems. So that's probably one of the nicest things that's happened to me.
Probably the soccer team, because we're all group like a family and we all have to work together to reach a goal. So, and we all have to support each other through school and through physical activity. So I'd say it's pretty positive.
The financial aid system has been a whole lot better. They remodeled the entire building and the process was real smooth to get my funds going and everything else. The process just helped me get to where I needed to be in order to take my classes and be there on time.
Well, with the new merge of the UT system, which is now UTRGV, I believe that the most positive thing would be the website of UTRGV. I find it simpler than when I was a student at UT Pan Am, and simple in general. It's just more simple. I feel like it's more quicker in speed in switching to the different pages you need to go to. I don't find trouble in it whatsoever.
Can you tell me something negative that you've seen or experienced since the semester started?
I was trying to hunt down one worker here for about 4 hours. UTRGV is really good at hiding their workers, especially the ones that are really higher up. And yeah, he was really elusive and really hard to get a hold of, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who has a problem getting a hold of people here on campus.
Well, I'm big on school spirit, and I feel like we could be so much more involved and do so much more, by going to the games, women's soccer tonight is playing. I feel like more people could go. It would be more of a community at UTRGV.
One of the things I think is the negative thing about the school is the parking. Ever since my freshman year, it's difficult to find parking. You have to come an hour and a half earlier than your class in the morning. If you have class in the afternoon, it's worse. There's no parking. You're chasing students like hawks for parking. I find that very difficult and very negative. Sometimes you're running late, sometimes you're running on time, but then because of parking issues, you get to class late and whatnot, and that just looks very bad on your part towards your professors.
I think a couple of the negative things would be parking. Last semester I came to class at 10:30, and by that time all the parking lots were full, zone 1, zone 2, and I'd have to park really, really far away from school. And this year I had to start coming to school a lot earlier just to even find decent parking. So that's a main problem. And during lunchtime when we come to the union, there are usually no open tables outside, so that really sucks.
Tuition did go up, and and obviously a lot of people were unhappy about the colors and the whole mascot change.
What is your favorite location to eat on campus?
To eat on campus? I like Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A or Sandella's?
I'd say the Sub Connection place.
Chick-fil-A. What is your least favorite restaurant around campus?
The sushi place is pretty bad. I don't know if they've ever been that great, but it's like they get progressively worse over the years.
Because I tried sushi once and it just, I don't know, it didn't do my stomach well. So.
The sushi?
The cafeteria, because it's not that healthy, I don't think, and I think they can make improvements with that.
What advice would you give the freshmen or transfer students that this is their first semester starting here?
Be patient at first. UTRGV is just starting, so there's going to be a little growing pains here and there, but mostly just join as many clubs as you can, get as involved as you can, and have fun before you graduate college. Because after that, that's when you start working and get into the real world. So just have fun in college and yeah, be patient with UTRGV.
Advice that I would give freshmen would be just, if you were active in high school, stay active in college, get the full college experience, join organizations, you'll make a lot more friends, meet so many great, awesome people that will impact your life in a very positive way. I've experienced that personally, and well, just stay active, you know, like don't be going home and coming back to school and that's it. Like, no, actually experience the college life.
Be open and try different things out. Don't be scared to like go out and you know, join different clubs, because to be honest, this is a time in your life where you might have an idea where you're going, but you really need to try different things, and you might be surprised where it'll take you, and you might find that you might thought of you wanted to go somewhere, but you'll be going in a completely different direction where you'll be happy and doing something you love.
For freshmen to join organizations and be more involved in school so they can have their more college experience and be out there, get to know more people, start networking and starting to learn there's more out there than just school and work.
Well, this concludes another segment on Man on the Street. Thanks for watching.
I want to thank you for joining us for this week's edition of UTRGV-TV News. If you have a story idea, be sure to let us know at our Facebook page at facebook.com/UTRGV-TV. Or if you want to send us an email, you can do so at utrgv-tv@gmail.com. Please check us out next week for UTRGV-TV. I'm Daniel Gabon. Until next time.